On this edition of the Just in Time podcast with Justin Kutcher.
I asked him to move it over, and he does. And I'm nervous as anything. And I hit it, went right in the middle of the hole. One of the best putts I could have hit in the situation, forcing him to make his putt. I noticed that he was putting his ball down in the spot where he moved his mark to, not his original spot. And so if you know your match play rules, if you play from the wrong spot, you automatically lose the hole. And in turn, the match would have been over because I would have been 3 holes up with 2 to play, and it would have been over. I knew he was going for history. I knew it was a huge day for both of us. I was trying to stop that history a bit, and I got caught up in his game a lot, and that really helped me going into that final match. If I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't have been ready, I don't think, because I didn't watch him hit a shot that day. I didn't watch him. I could hear, obviously, the sound of the golf ball coming off the club, but really it was the focus that day was to stay in my own little world. Don't get caught up in what he's doing, because what he could do is so much greater than certainly what I could do physically and anybody that I've ever played with. So I couldn't worry about his game. I could only focus on mine. Mr. Nicklaus comes over to me, and says, "Steve, play it 6 inches right to left." And I'm like, it was totally opposite of what I saw. And I'm a pretty good green reader. I think I know what I'm doing out there. But I said, well, okay, you won more green jackets than I probably ever will dream of. So I'm going to trust you on this one. And I get up there and I just tickle this putt down the hill, and it gathers momentum down the hill, and it starts turning right to left, just like he said. And it goes in the hole. I kind of just shook my head in disbelief, kind of looked over, and I'm like, that's why you're who you are. You know all the secrets to this place. From 40 feet, that had, in the second half of the putt, it broke 3-4 feet left to right. It kind of went up. It was kind of flat to begin, and then it went up this hill, and then it curved to the right. And it was a putt you could 3-putt half the time. It was a really tough putt, and he hit it absolutely perfect. Went right in the hole perfect. I mean, if it misses the hole, it's probably going to run 4 feet by, 5 feet by, as fast as the greens were. Yeah, it went in.
The greatest sports moments happen in seconds, but the stories behind them are timeless. Dive into the mind of the icons who live those moments. No filters, just authentic conversations about the moments that define careers. I'm Justin Kutcher, and this is the Just in Time podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Just in Time podcast with Justin Kutcher, joined now by a guy who was once the #1 amateur in the world, a 3-time All-American at the University of Florida. He's also my broadcast partner on PGA Tour Live. However, people might know him because he played some guy by the name of Tiger Woods in the 1996 U.S. Amateur, ended up finishing runner-up to him. It is Steve Scott. Steve, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to talk to you so much about that amateur experience in your entire career.
Well, thanks so much. Yeah, first time today I've been reminded of the loss, so thanks. No, I'm just just kidding.
In all honesty, how many times do you get asked about that U.S. Amateur?
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, this year it's been 30 years exactly since that match in 1996. So, yeah, it's a lot, and I'm really happy that people remember the match, remember how it all went down, and remember, for me and the confidence that it gave me, and it still gives me, knowing that I was able to hang with a guy who ended up turning out to be pretty darn good.
It's so funny. I just said to you before we started this that I have had so much fun getting ready for this podcast. And part of the reason why I had so much fun is your U.S. Amateur was the first amateur that I remember watching as a fan. I can remember where I was for the 37th hole. I had just kind of finished playing golf myself, went into the pro shop, and I'm watching it. And then I'm going back and I'm looking at this. You were 19 years old. You're playing against Tiger Woods. Did you, or what were your impressions of Tiger before you even stepped foot into that final match?
Well, look, I mean, I knew he was going for history. I knew it was a huge day for both of us, really. It was a huge day for both of us. For me, I was trying to stop that history a bit, and but the good thing is, about 9 months prior, I had played a college event with him. So we were paired in the final round of a tournament in Hilton Head, South Carolina. and I played horribly. I shot 80 and he shot 70 or something on a, kind of a cold, windy day, but I just played awful because I was totally out of my element. I was totally watching his game, watching him hit these towering 3 irons, 240 yards to reach a par 5 and 2 over water. Like, I'm like, I can't do that, and nobody I played with can do that. So I got caught up in his game a lot, and that really helped me going into that final match. If I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't have been ready, I don't think, because I didn't watch him hit a shot that day. I didn't
Really?
watch him. I mean, I could hear obviously the sound of the golf ball coming off the club, but really it was the focus that day was to stay in my own little world. That was the only thing. I mean, my girlfriend, now my wife, she was caddying for me, and we really just that was our game plan. Don't watch him hit a shot, and don't worry, don't get caught up in what he's doing, because what he could do is so much greater than certainly what I could do physically, and anybody that I've ever played with. So I couldn't worry about his game. I could only focus on mine.
As a 19-year-old, I go back and I'm watching that telecast, and it sounded like Dan Hicks and Johnny Miller were just so surprised with how you were playing. Like, oh, this guy's putting with confidence. Look at him bury this putt. I mean,
Mhm.
what was it early on? Because you jumped out to an incredible lead early in that. I know Tiger didn't play his best, but what was your mindset early when you saw yourself get out to that early lead?
I was 4 up through 7 holes right off the
Yeah.
bat. I mean, it was really quick, and my putter, I was making putts from everywhere. I couldn't miss. I was hitting the ball great. Like, I was always keeping myself in the game. My match play strategy has always been great. I love match play to this day. There's a I don't know. I play my most carefree and my best in match play only because there's one other guy you have to beat. You don't have to worry about the person who's, finishing 9 holes ahead, who's shooting 63 or whatever. All you care about is your own little world on that hole in that moment. Like, every hole is its own tournament in itself, really. And because what happens on the previous hole doesn't carry over necessarily. You make an 8 and I make a 4 and I'm only one up, right? So
Right.
instead of 4 shots, like, it's just one hole at a time. And I think that's why I love it so much, because it kind of compartmentalizes the big picture of golf into what needs to happen in that moment. It really makes me play in the present very well.
So you played in the present really well. You ended the first 18, and everybody who's listening probably knows about the USAM. You play 36 holes for that championship match. You have an hour break between when you go up five before you start the next 18. Wh- I know when you're playing well, you just want to keep on going, no stop. So what do? You obviously get some lunch, but how do you kind of maintain that focus and momentum for the next 18?
Well, I'll actually tell you a story. I'll actually say that it was an hour and a half break in between 18s when we started on the second 18, only because, so I'm 5 up. If let's say I win a couple holes in the first, in the front 9 of the afternoon, and then I'm 7 up with 9 to go, the match is over. Like, the
Right.
match is going to be over essentially. And so NBC, and I learned this a long time after, NBC basically pushed it back a little bit, so there would be more, they would show us deeper into like, they picked us up on like the 6th hole, I think, instead of earlier in the day. So, I mean, if we would have started a little earlier, we would have been farther along, and the match could have been over. So they wanted to, it was kind of funny how it worked, but yeah, I mean, they didn't expect me to be so far up.
Okay, so now it's pushed to an hour and a half.
Mhm.
What are you doing during that
Yeah.
time?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have to work on my game. My game was really good. Um, we basically grabbed some lunch. My caddy, my girlfriend, and then my aunt and my uncle who were there, who actually helped my girlfriend, you know, get out there essentially all the way to Portland from Florida, and they stayed with us the whole week. And yeah, we just kind of hung out, and we actually did a little shopping.
No
we
way.
as any my wife's my Christy goes, she's like, maybe we need something to remember this week by. And I said, okay, sure. I mean, I think we'll have something, but yeah, let's go. And because she wanted to distract me, like that's
Yeah.
really her best skill as a caddy, like, because I'm so intense out there on the course, and I don't know, she just kinda she gets my mind out of the moment just for a second, which kinda eases me up, and, she's been really good at that.
That's incredible because
Yep,
I've always wondered. I mean, you have an hour and a half to think, and you're sitting
yep,
here going, I'm sitting on a 5 shot lead with
yeah,
18 holes to
yeah,
play
yep,
against a guy who's won 5 US amateurs in a row,
mhm,
3 juniors and 2 US amateurs. So you go start that second 18, thanks to our friends at NBC, at half
yeah,
hour later than you're supposed to.
uh-huh.
The start of it,
Mhm.
that first tee shot, what are the emotions? What's your heart rate?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I was very nervous, but I was very nervous all day, but it never affected my play, and that's a
Mhm.
difference. Like, you can be nervous, and it makes you, what Johnny Miller likes to say, choke. I never choked out there. Like,
Right.
I was so nervous, but I mean, all the butterflies were flying in formation, so to speak, right? Everything was really on point. And Tiger came out. He actually had to make about an 8 footer to not go six down. He came
Mhm.
out, and I mean, he made a great up and down from off the green to not go six down, and then he rattled off three in a row on holes 3, 4, and 5. One of which I gave him. Two of the other ones he stuffed it to like that. So um, he hit it very close. And but yeah, it was certainly nervous, but not affecting my play.
I thought it was really cool, as I said, to go back and watch this. And I believe it was on the 11th hole. It was the first Tiger fist pump of the championship match. He
Mhm.
sunk a long putt and he had the fist pump, and the camera panned to you, and you had a smile.
Yep.
Why? Why the smile at that moment?
Well, we had actually there had been this punch counter punch moment on 9, 10, and 11 in the afternoon. So holes 27, 28, 29, right? And so because he made a 15 footer for birdie on the ninth hole. I'll just say ninth hole because it's easier
Yeah.
to remember. And then the 10th hole in the afternoon, I hit a flop shot into the hole, so to win the hole for birdie. And so that was the punch, counter punch. And then I'm up there. I've got about 2 or 3 feet for birdie, mind you, when he hit this eagle putt from 40 feet that had, in the second half of the putt, it broke 3, 4 feet left to right. It kind of went up. It was kind of flat to begin, and then it went up this hill, and then it curved to the right. And it was a putt you could three putt half the time. It was a
Right.
really tough putt, and he hit it absolutely perfect. Went right in the hole perfect. I mean, if it misses the hole, it's probably going to run 4 feet by, 5 feet by, as fast as the greens were.
Mhm.
And yeah, it went in. And
And so that
his
smile
shoulder almost popped out of its socket, I think.
so that smile was just like, "All right,
Yeah,
punch, counter punch, punch."
yeah, yeah. It was like, okay, what are you going to do? Like what am I going to do next? This is cool, you know.
He had another fist pump because you are 1 up with 2 to play going into 17, and again, he makes a bomb of a putt, and that might have been the biggest fist pump we saw from him.
Mm.
I've always wondered, people always say, "Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Don't get ahead of yourself."
Mhm,
You're 1 up with 2 to play
mhm.
for the US Amateur. How do you not get ahead of yourself? How do you not start thinking? And then all of a sudden, when that gets switched and he makes that putt, you're going, oh shit. Okay, now we're tied going to
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, it was the first time we were tied the whole day, since the first hole, essentially. So, yeah, I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard to stay in the moment. I mean, it was one of those things. I almost had an out of body experience before he made that putt, because as a competitor out there in match play, you are always preparing for your opponent to make the putt or hit the great
Hmm.
shot, and so you're never caught off guard. And I saw the putt go in before it went in. Like, it was the weirdest out of body experience. And lo and behold, he makes this putt, and yeah, I mean, I was actually off the green in two. He actually had to play first. I was 20 feet from the hole and had a chip to potentially win it. I was very close, and he holds this 35 footer, and away we go to the 36th hole, all tied up.
And you on the 36th hole, this is what I think impressed me the most
Mhm.
was you had to make a putt to force
Mhm.
extra holes.
Yep.
And I know you were not wearing a Whoop band back then because we didn't have those. You didn't have an
Yep.
Apple Watch back in 1996.
Yep.
Tell me the truth. How fast, as you're over that putt, is your heart just beating?
I can still remember it to this moment. I mean, and what was crazy about it was, I have this putt because I had lost. He had actually won the 34th hole and the 35th hole, and to tie the match. So if I missed this putt, I would have lost the last 3 holes of regulation to lose the US Amateur. And I don't know, looking back on that, it probably would have been really hard to take. It would have been really hard to take. And I wasn't thinking about that in the moment. I was so locked into my routine. I was putting great, but it was a 5 footer, pretty much straight up the hill, but it was 5 feet.
Hmm.
And it's amazing what happens to your body physiologically, right? Your heart does go, and your hands, you can't quite feel your hands. I mean, we see it and hear about it, on PGA Tour players. I mean, they're like, I couldn't feel my hands. And Yeah, it's just one of those moments. You're trying to execute the finest of motor patterns or motor movements with a short putt, and at the same time calming yourself down inside as much as you can. It's really hard to do. But I was so proud of myself to step up there and bury that putt to force extra holes.
Was there something you told yourself
Mhm.
to calm yourself down, or is it just, all right, here we go?
No, I was locked into my routine. Like, I'll actually, if you go back, and because it's on YouTube, so if
Yep.
anybody listening to your podcast here, go back and watch the YouTube putt of that last one, because what you will hear in the background, you'll hear some sort of wailing noise, like some baby crying or something. It's really strange. Like, right as I'm pulling the putter back, there's this noise in the background that's so easily heard over on the audio, and I heard it too, but I was so locked into my routine. I was so locked into to the execution of going through, my looks at the hole and all that. Like I heard the noise, but physically it didn't disrupt me. I was so it was like this autopilot that I was in, and I made the putt. But it was you could hear it. It's pretty remarkable.
Before we go to the extra
Mhm,
holes, I need to know,
mhm,
like you said, you had your girlfriend, who's now your
mhm,
wife, Christy, on the bag. And what is she saying to you? I mean, throughout this back nine,
mhm.
throughout those, last few holes of regulation, is she even talking to you at that point?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. She was always good at giving me a quick back rub or something to kind of like ease the tension up, and just constantly telling me that I could do this. I can do this. And yeah, what her words, meant everything to me that day. They mean everything to this day. um, yeah, she's been the greatest partner that I could ever have. Caddy, no caddy. I mean, she's the best mom. I mean, she knows what to say in the right moments. And she just always kept pumping me up and giving me the mental fuel that I needed, because it's a long week. I mean, it's a long day, first of all. I
Yes.
mean, but it's this is the seventh day in a row of competition. So there's 2 days of stroke play in the US Amateur, followed by 5 days of match play, two of which are two matches or 36 holes in one day. And so, like, you're running on total adrenaline at that point. And it's I mean, it's pretty amazing to get to that point as far into that tournament and make it all the way as far as we did. Yeah, it's just something we'll always remember.
37th hole, you have a putt that can win it.
Mhm,
So I asked what was going through your
mhm,
mind to make the putt on the 36th hole
mhm.
to force extras. Now you have a birdie attempt. After Tiger hasn't hit his, you've got that chance to win. So again, that heart rate, the emotions,
A lot.
what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, it was funny because I stuck to my guns. It was a hole that didn't favor me whatsoever. It favored Tiger completely. There were some center line bunkers out there that are about just over 300 yards to clear them. And like, it was a split fairway. You could go down the left fairway, which is only about 15 yards wide, or you could go down the right fairway, which was much farther, a much more circuitous route to the hole. But it was a much longer route to the hole. And so what I had always done in each of my matches I'd actually hit a 2-iron off the tee to almost keep it short of the bunkers, and then I would have like a 5-iron into the green, and just to make sure I put it in play, because if I put it in the rough was gnarly. I just wanted to put the ball in play, and I could chase my 2-iron out about 260. It was really firm, and I hit this low sweeping draw that just ran for miles, and and I did that. That's what I did. I took he takes his drive route because he had the
Hmm.
honor, and he took driver and he sent it. And he only had a pitching wedge to the hole, but I stuck to my guns and I hit my 2-iron off the tee, which was really hard to do, given that moment. And then I had 5-iron to the green. I hit my 5-iron inside of his wedge. And
So you were Colin Morikawa before Colin Morikawa.
exactly. I picked apart the golf course and he just tried to bludgeon it. But anyway, he missed his birdie putt, and I've got this putt. I mean, I was 5 up after 18 holes. This is the only putt I've had all day to win the match. Right here, right now. Like I could do it in this moment. And I was very nervous. I was much more nervous than I was on that 5-footer in regulation. And it was 15 feet, but it was pretty straight. And I kind of hit a weak putt. It kind of ended up a little short and right of the hole, and it was definitely one I would love a mulligan on for sure. That would definitely be my mulligan.
That's fascinating to me. You just said you were more nervous
Yeah,
over that putt
yeah,
than over the putt on the 36th hole. Why?
yeah. Well, because it was to win, right? Like the other ones to tie. I don't know. There's a different feeling when you have to win versus to tie. Um, I don't know. It was, I mean, the moment was just, was so great. I remember I've done some on course work at the PGA Championship with Mark Brooks.
Hmm.
And I remember talking to him, and he says, you know what, Steve? When you get in those situations, the air gets really thin. And the air got really thin for me at that moment. Like it's hard to breathe. It's hard to even like gather up any saliva in your mouth. You're so nervous. Like it's just an unbelievable feeling that I would love to have again. But it is. I mean, it's the most nervous you could ever be with a golf club in your hand. I mean, having a chance to win the U.S. Amateur like that, it's just I don't know. And to beat that guy too.
The next hole, it ends.
Mhm.
Tiger wins. And there was just a look on your face that I saw. Like it was almost, I don't want to say it was relief, but it
Yeah,
was like, that was a ridiculous day. So,
yeah.
what was
Mhm,
the feeling that you had when Tiger made that final putt? Because I saw you go over to Christie when you didn't make your putt,
mhm.
and Tiger had, I don't know, a foot and a half, 2 feet left. What was that feeling?
Well, I mean, you have all this adrenaline going in your body the whole entire week, essentially. Like it's this balloon that just keeps inflating and inflating and inflating. And in that moment, I mean, I knew Tiger was going to make that short putt, and basically in that moment, the air just popped out of the balloon. I mean, that's all it did. It's just kind of like you all the adrenaline like leaves your body. It's a really strange physiological reaction, but and that I've never really felt before, and I don't know if I'll ever feel it again because the moment was so great. Um, but yeah, you really think about I mean, I was very proud in that moment. Even though I didn't win, I was just so proud of the fact that the way I played. I did bogey the very last hole. I lipped out a 7-footer for par, and he two putted for par to win. But I had no regrets. I left it. Every competitor
Mhm.
says they want to leave it on the field. Like I left it all. I left it all on Pumpkin Ridge that day. I mean, I left it all on the course, and that was it. Like I couldn't have done any more. And then Tiger's just kind of supposed to do what he did, and yeah, it was pretty remarkable.
I've been thinking about this, and I want to get your take. Do you think you're more well known for losing to Tiger in 38 holes than had you beaten him in 38 holes?
It's a great question. I mean, I think about if it was somebody else, if I would have beaten. Certainly anybody in his, if you're in his air, so to speak, like if you're around him and you can hang like Bob May, like Rocco Mediate. Um, yeah, I mean, I mean, it's great that it was him. I mean, I felt every time he continued to win on the PGA Tour following that, I felt pretty good. Like, hey, he beat Mickelson, he beat VJ, he beat Ernie Els, I mean, I know what it was like, but I know that I could hang with him, and um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that
The
answers your
reason why I
question or not.
say that, the reason why I say it is because of this.
Mm,
I think back to when Tom Watson had a chance to win the British Open
mm,
at, I think he was 59 years old,
yep.
and he ended up losing
Mhm.
in a playoff to Stewart Cink. People remember, I think, more Tom Watson than Stewart Cink winning it. And had you
Yeah.
won it,
Mhm.
I think it would have been Tiger losing it, you not winning it. And instead, everyone's like, man, that US Amateur 1996 Pumpkin Ridge, Steve Scott forced Tiger to go to extra holes. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll never know.
Right.
But yeah, I think I've gotten as much or more traction out of not winning than maybe anybody who has ever played.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
at least equal. You know, I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's gotten more. I mean, I got a ton of sponsor exemptions after that. I got and it was the way it went down. Really, I mean, that 34th hole of the match of reminding him to move his ball marker back.
Was that, I mean,
Um,
that was that even a thought to you? Like, not to remind him?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't because that's just what I learned, but it's really funny how that moment, I mean, if we could talk about that for a little
Yeah.
bit because I think
Please.
that was I mean, I think that that's as much what I'm known for
Hmm.
as not winning the match, right? It's being 2 up with 3 to play going into the 34th hole of the match, I've got a chance if I win this hole, I win the US Amateur. It's over, right? And we both hit our drives down. We both hit driver on that hole, and he was 53 yards past me, and we
Wow.
both hit our Sunday best. I mean, we both hit it great. He had a sand wedge to the green. I had a 6 iron, and the pin was back right, and I don't hit any fades. I don't hit any shots that go left to right. My ball only curves right to left. Even to this day, I've got a hard time hitting a fade. And so we get up there, and I push my second shot into the green side bunker. He hits his sand wedge and one hops and spins off the back fringe. Actually jumped out of the rough, spun back out of the rough down to about 6 feet to the hole. And so I'm like, okay, he's got a good chance to win this hole. And I get up there, I hit my bunker shot, and I hit it past. It was kind of a not a great lie. The ball ran out a little bit, and I had about 10 feet for par. And as I'm looking at this putt, his ball marker was right in my way, right?
Hmm.
And I have to make this putt to force him to make his birdie putt to win the hole outright. And so we get up there and I ask him to move it over and he does. And I'm nervous as anything. I mean, I mean, this was a really nervous putt, outside left, and I hit it, went right in the middle of the hole. I mean, one of the best putts I could have hit in the situation, forcing him to make his putt. And I'm walking off to the side of the green and I noticed that he was putting his ball down in the spot where he moved his mark to, not his original spot.
Hmm.
And so, if you know your match play rules, if you play from the wrong spot, you automatically lose the hole. And in turn, the match would have been over because I would have
Yep.
been 3 holes up with
Wow.
2 to play and it would have been over. and so,
Wow.
and so, but the big but is like, I hope that anybody playing this game would have done the same thing. Kind of it's what golfers learn. It's what I learned as a youngster playing the game. I learned that you help your opponent find a golf ball if they miss the fairway and they're looking for it in the woods, or you learn those things as a golfer, and or you remind them to move their ball marker back when you asked them to move it. And so um, I think it was a reflex action. It wasn't anything that it was a conscious thing that I did, but I was glad the game taught me that because um, that moment. I mean, look, there's plenty of instances in sport where people they're gonna break the rules. They're gonna try to cheat the system to win. And I think it was just another reminder, and it is to this day and forever, as long as the story's told, that it's just a reminder of what golf is. It's the difference. It's why golf is on this pedestal as opposed to other sports, because that's what we do as golfers. We don't try to cheat the system or have the referee out there throwing a flag. There's no flags to be thrown. I mean, it's you and the other player, and very often you help your opponent essentially beat you, and that's kind of what happened to me.
A lot of times in golf, when you're playing with your buddies and someone you ask to move a mark,
Mhm.
before they even go to put the ball down, you always say, "Hey, don't forget, your mark." Okay,
Mhm.
thanks. So Tiger put his ball down,
Mhm.
and you saw it.
Yeah.
How close was it that you almost missed it to remind him? Because he's
Yeah.
doing you a favor by moving the mark so that
Yeah.
it's not in your line. And you don't want to, I always say, you don't want to root for somebody to get hurt. You want to beat them
Sure.
at their best. You
Yeah.
don't want to win the US Amateur on a technicality. You want to beat
Correct.
him on his best.
Yeah.
So, was there ever like a moment where you just glanced like, oh no, Tiger, move your mark back?
Yeah, yeah, that was it. I was walking off to the side of the green. Had the 17th tee been in a different direction, and I would walked in a different direction, I might not have seen it out of the corner of my eye. I mean, it would have been very understandable if I had completely forgotten because I had just made this huge putt, and
Hmm.
I've got this adrenaline, even more of an adrenaline surge through my body, like man, like come on, let's go, and in that moment, I had the wherewithal to just kind of glance to my right after I saw it out of the corner of my eyes. He put his ball down, and because I knew there wasn't any time, like I kind of knew there wasn't a lot of time between the fact that when he got to his ball and he put it down, like he didn't go through his process of moving it, and yeah, it's just kind of one of those things, it's just what golf teaches you. It's this, reflex action. And I really want everybody who plays this game to know that that's what you do. It's not what, and I kind of wrote this book. I
Yep,
wrote a book about it, and
correct.
I talked about this about like because we see Patrick Reed or other players kind of skirt the rules a little bit, and anyway, maybe I'm jumping the gun on you here, but
No, no,
like
I think it's
but
I'm someone who says
Mhm.
you're always going to be tested in life, no matter what. Everyone's going to be tested at some point. Take the high road. Always take the high road. It's gonna end up helping you in the long run.
Yeah.
You took the high road. You
Mhm.
could have won the US Amateur that year, snapped Tiger's streak, but all anybody would have been talking about is Tiger lost because of a technicality.
Yeah.
And why didn't Steve Scott tell him to move his ball mark?
Yeah. And I probably looked like the bad guy too,
Correct.
in an area where I didn't even maybe I could have forgotten, and
Hmm.
so yeah, it all worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
So you just said before that you then saw Tiger go on to
Mhm.
beat guys like Mickelson and VJ and David Duval.
Mhm.
You played Tiger in the US Amateur in August. He then says, "Hello, world," with the swoosh on his head.
Yep.
And he goes out and he wins not that long after.
Right.
So to me, that's got to feel like, holy crap. Okay. He just beat the best in the world after I took him to extra holes.
Yep.
What did that do for your own confidence?
Certainly it only heightened it for sure. I mean, it was yeah, I mean, he went out. I mean, it was that he basically turned pro the day after we played, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it was that quick. He went and signed his $40 million contract, and hello world, and he made a hole in one at Milwaukee, and away we go, right? And I mean, he wins the Masters 8 months after we played, right? So like he does all these things. He wins those two tour events in the fall, and then he goes and wins the Masters 8 months later. It's like, yeah, it definitely it didn't hurt my confidence at all. Let's put it that way. It was every time he continued to win, it was like, yeah, I hung with that guy, and
Well,
and yeah,
I wore this on purpose because you played in the
Mhm.
1997 Masters.
Yep,
And so if you are the USAM champ and the USAM runner up, you get the invite to Augusta. Tiger turns pro, so he foregoes that invite. He has to now earn his way in. He does. You were playing as the USAM runner up, and he wins the Masters,
yeah,
which is absurd. And we're going to talk about that. But I need to know more about the experience as an amateur playing in the Masters. So What day did you arrive at Augusta National?
I arrived Sunday night before the tournament week. I was actually playing a collegiate event in northern Georgia, and took the 3 hour or so drive down through Atlanta towards and went east. And I was driving this old beat up Honda Civic. I mean, we didn't have a ton of money, and I pull up to the gates at 9 o'clock at night at the National on Sunday night, and it's all dark, and I pull up to the in the guard gate. The guy looks at me, and I said, "Hi, Steve Scott here. I'm here to play the tournament this week and stay in the crow's nest." And he look at his list, and he kind of looked at me fine. He's like, "Oh, okay, all right, head down the lane." I was okay, so
By the way,
s-
that lane is Magnolia Lane.
Magnolia Lane. It's a really good lane, but yeah, my first time driving down there, really, yeah, that was. Um, well, I had played there about a month before in a couple practice rounds, so it wasn't the first time I drove down there. But yeah, knowing that you're playing in the Masters and the week is starting the next morning, very hard to sleep, very hard to. Um, you're like the kid on Christmas Eve, just waiting for Santa to bring the presents because these presents are the best presents ever. And yeah, it was a ridiculous week, the whole thing. I mean, I got keys to a brand new Cadillac after they. It was actually really funny because on Monday morning, because my girlfriend Christy, now my wife, she caddied for me there too. She donned the white jumpsuit, um, but she didn't get there until like the wee hours of the morning. She was playing in her own collegiate event the day before, like in Miami, and she came up with her family, and she didn't get there probably 3 in the morning or something. So we played an afternoon practice round because of that. But I'm chipping about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning out of the on the chipping green, and not the one that they know what that
Right.
now. It's actually the one it was on the one side, the opposite
Mhm.
side of the old now the members range at off the side of Magnolia Lane. And a gentleman, I believe he was a caddy there or something, but working the event in a white jumpsuit, comes up to me. He says, "Hey, is that your junky car off the side of the clubhouse over there? That beat up Honda Civic that I had?" He's like, I said, "Well, yeah, that's mine." He's like, "You got to get that thing out of here." Like it was like I was offending,
You
and I
were
probably
tarnishing the
was.
reputation.
Yeah, but I pulled it off to the side of the clubhouse and all that. And so anyway, he's like, "Just give me your keys. Give me your keys. I'll move it, blah, blah, blah." So anyway, I give him my keys. He moves it somewhere. He comes back and he hands me the keys to a white Cadillac that I use for the rest of the week. So imagine you're 19 years old and you're given the keys to a brand new white Cadillac, the biggest trunk that you could fit 14 sets of golf clubs in there, and one of those type of Cadillacs. And it was amazing. It was so cool.
I also wanna know, as a 19-year-old kid, you're giving your keys, and everyone talks about the aura of Augusta, like, nobody wants to do anything that's gonna get them kicked out. So,
Right.
what's running through your mind at that moment, like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Are they gonna throw me out? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah. I thought I did something wrong for sure, but yeah, no, it was too cool. I mean, you kind of walk on eggshells a little bit out there, but um, yeah, it's just the whole week was crazy. My practice rounds were unbelievable. I played that Monday afternoon with Justin Leonard, who ended up winning the Open Championship later that year at Troon. My Tuesday practice round was unbelievable. I played with Mr. Nicklaus,
Mm.
and he was still kind of competing. I think the next year he ended up finishing fifth in the tournament. I mean, he was still playing well, and I wrote him a letter before. I wrote all of my practice round people a member, the guys, the pros, a letter, and Mr. Nicholas responded like in February. He said, "I'd love to play with you." We played Tuesday afternoon. That was really cool. Kind of a weird story about that too was,
Yeah.
so we're walking up the ninth hole, and we're playing. We're also the British amateur champ, a guy named Warren Bladen. He joined us, and he was a mid amateur guy, maybe a little heavy set, and maybe wanted to, I don't know, whatever. But the crazy thing was, so we're playing. It's just us three on the front nine. We're walking up to the ninth green, And Warren goes, "Hey, Steve, I'm not going to play the back nine. I'm going to rest for, the rest of the week. I'm going to rest, I don't want to,
You're like,
do
dude,
too
it's
much.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. You're playing with Jack freaking Nicklaus. All right. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so he left. He takes him and his caddy. They went off and they went towards the clubhouse, and it was just Jack and I on the back nine. It was the craziest thing. To this day, I don't know why he did not play the back nine with us. I don't know what was going through his mind, but um, he didn't. And so it was Jack and I in the back nine. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon, and we played the whole back nine. It was just like this. I mean, you can just imagine the sunshine coming through the pines, and you're walking down the back nine with Jack Nicklaus, and it's like you're able to just pick his brain on all the different putts and different shots, and I mean, it was just like, it's a pinch me moment that I'll just never ever duplicate.
There are so many follow-up questions to that. My first one, though, you were surprised that he left. What did Jack say when this guy just leaves?
I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I'm sure he shook his head too. Like, what am I, chopped liver or something?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, but hey, so be it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, actually, I'll tell you another story. Backing up on that ninth green that day. So I'm looking at a putt, and I've got a downhill 30-footer, and the pin was kind of middle right. You know how that green has a few different terraces, and it's very speedy from the top. And I'm looking at the putt, and I could have bet my life it was going to break 6 inches left to right.
Mhm.
I'm like, there's a hill over here. Like, okay, it has to break. And Mr. Nicholas comes over to me. He says, Steve, play it 6 inches right to left. And I'm like, it was totally opposite of what I saw. Like, and I'm a pretty good green reader. Like, I think I know what I'm doing out there. But I said, well, okay, you won more green jackets than I probably ever will dream of. So I'm going to trust you on this one. And I get up there, and I just tickle this putt down the hill, and it gathers momentum down the hill, and it starts turning right to left, just like he said. And it goes in the hole, and the crowd kind of erupts as a practice round crowd might. And I mean, it's just, I kind of just shook my head like in disbelief, kind of looked over, and I'm like, man, like that was the coolest moment ever, because that's why you're who you are. You know all the secrets to this place, and that moment was just awesome. I think I've got a picture somewhere of that moment. It's just too cool.
Did he high five you?
I don't know if he high fived me. I think it was just kind of like one of those Nicholas winks, like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Okay, so this is what's really cool. Jack Nicklaus, everyone talks about trying to be able to read the greens or know your way around the golf course, but you learn how to play at Augusta through years of experience.
Yeah.
The back nine at Augusta National, I think, is the most fun 9 holes of golf anywhere in the world. But you get to play Amen Corner, just you and Jack Nicklaus
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
Is he talking you through, or like, are you trying to ask him questions,
Mhm.
or is he kind of taking this young amateur under his wing? Because Jack Nicklaus, of course, was an incredible amateur
Mhm.
golfer. Is he taking you under his wing and trying to teach you certain things about the course?
Yeah, I think I asked him a lot. I mean, I think I wasn't shy to ask him. So that was a good thing. And if there was something that I looked confused about, I mean, he might, like he did on the ninth hole. I mean, it wasn't over the top. It wasn't every single shot or every moment, but yeah, there was definitely some moments where, yeah, he was just like a grandpa out there to me. I mean, I'm 19 and he's 58, and it was just like, hey, this is kind of, these are the things you got to look for. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember every single moment.
Right.
Um, but I do remember him, like, typically in practice round, you don't fire at the flags because the flags aren't in the same spots they will be in the tournament. Typically, you kind of hit it towards where you think the flags will be. But on the 12th and 16th hole, he fired at the flags. I'll just go at this one. And literally on both of them, he hit it to like that, like a foot. And like, I mean, it was too cool. It was just perfect shots. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go at it. Boom. And he hits it right next to the hole. Like, okay. At will.
Was there a pinch me moment on that back nine walking with him?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying. I think those couple shots that he hit tight on the par threes were super impressive. I do remember asking him walking up the 18th hole, um, because at the time, I guess I was a sophomore at the University of Florida, and you know, I don't know. I obviously had played pretty well to get to that point, and maybe I was at some point I was considering maybe if I didn't finish all 4 years of college at Florida, and what did he do? What did he do? Obviously he was a great amateur, won the U.S. amateur and all that, and he told me he only went to 3 years of college, which was interesting. He's like, if you know that you're ready to turn pro, um, you go. I mean, if you feel like you can do it, this is what I did. And, no way was I Jack Nicklaus at that point and or ever was, but um I remember him saying like his father was a pharmacist and that was kind of his major. I think his major was pharmacy and because he was maybe going to follow in his father's footsteps but he said, "Look, if you're playing well, and you don't need 4 years of college to know that you're going to be a pro." And so I thought about that. I did end up finishing all my 4 years, and but at Florida, but yeah, I do remember talking about that walking up 18.
Everyone knows if you're an amateur, you mentioned it before, the crow's nest.
Mhm.
Did you stay in the crow's nest?
Yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. It was actually really funny because that year I was the only person staying in the crow's nest. I stayed the first 2 nights, so I stayed the Sunday night and the Monday night. My family came in, rented a house, so, we ended up staying off property the rest of the week, but the Tiger was already a pro, so he wasn't
Right.
eligible to stay there. The US Mid-Amateur champ was a Mid-Am. He didn't play, or he didn't stay there because he was older. The British Amateur champ was also an older guy, like Warren Bladen, like I said. He didn't stay there,
Well, he
and
was too
then
busy leaving a practice round, so it didn't matter.
right, right.
He's
And
like,
then
crow's nest. No, that's not for me.
there might have been one other guy, like a Pub Links champ or something. I think the Pub Links champ was a mid-am guy. Everybody was older, so like they all got homes and whatever, and so I was the only one to stay there, and it was kind of eerie, to be honest with you. It's like, um, I think Golf Digest did a thing and took some cameras up there to the crow's nest, and it's basically like it's not even stairs. It's almost like a ladder. It's so steep. I mean, if you went down and you weren't even a fraction careful, I mean, you could just eat it coming down. But yeah, to stay at the top level of the clubhouse there and on the grounds at Augusta National for a few nights, I mean, come on, like it's just ridiculous to think that I did that at 19 years old.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't, because I know there are certain things with Augusta National that are fairly secretive. But if you could tell the audience what the crow's nest is it like you're in a bunk at camp? Is it fancy? Is it spacious? What is it?
No, none of those, none of those. It's like, I mean, the whole area is probably, oh gosh, I mean, it's probably 50 feet long by 30 feet wide or something. There's a communal bathroom. It basically though, like each of the rooms, they're not even rooms. They're like big pieces of plywood that's kind of like cordoned off. Like there's a little door and whatnot, but there's the door. It's almost like going to a bathroom stall in a way. Maybe there's a bad example, but like when the wall doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling,
Yep, yep.
like it's kind of one of those where like you can, if you're in there playing mute, I mean, like people would know what you're doing, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of a little, it's kind of just cordoned off from the others. But there was like four or five different little sections that were cordoned off there, and a little sitting area and a bathroom, and that's kind of it.
Is it a twin bed, full bed, queen bed, king bed?
I felt like it couldn't have been any more than a twin bed. I mean, they're
Okay.
not big. They're not very big. They're not very big.
And then you're the only amateur staying in there on Monday and Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So you're the only person or one of maybe three people probably in the clubhouse
Mhm.
at night.
Yeah.
Like, what's What's that like? I mean, you're at Augusta National,
Yeah.
19 years old, and you're the only person in this clubhouse.
Yeah, it's pretty eerie, really, if you think about it that way. I mean, and you can't sleep on top of it because you know that you're about to play the Masters this week. So it's like, I mean, even if you weren't playing the Masters, like just to stay there and in the silence, it's a little eerie, to be honest with you. One of the coolest things though is that, like, for breakfast, I mean, there's no menus, right? So like you basically, hey, what's can I have a menu? Oh, no, well, what do you want? Okay, I want an omelet with hash browns or whatever. I mean, they make you anything you want. It's the coolest thing. I mean, like, yeah. Again, you can't believe that you actually did that until you look back. You're like, yeah, and as 19-year-old, you don't quite appreciate it in
Hmm.
the moment. I mean, you do. You know, you're somewhere special and you're trying to soak it all in, but at the same time, you're maybe hoping you could come back at some point, but you know that this might be a one and done. And so, like, you're kind of soaking it all in, but um, I don't know. I tried to remember everything I could.
You said before that your family came and they rented a house, and Christy came.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's caddying for you. Uh, I got this like vision in my head that it was like the night before your wedding, right? Like you can't see your bride the night before the wedding. You're like, hey Christy, I'm not gonna stay at the house tonight because I'm staying at the crow's nest and you can't come here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
No.
It
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah. They couldn't come up there. And yeah, I know. It's, yeah, crazy. Crazy to think.
it is so crazy to think. And then when the tournament starts, if I'm not mistaken, you and Tiger shot the same score on the opening 9 holes.
We did. We did. We both shot 40. Yeah. Yeah. And quickly diverged from there. Yeah. I shot, I guess probably shot 38 on the back or something. I shot 78 and then I shot 79. The golf course was ridiculously hard. I mean, like, it was as firm as that table that your notes are on right there. Like, the golf course was crazy. This is before they lengthened it, Tiger proofed it or whatever.
Mhm.
It only Tiger benefited him really. Um, but uh, but yeah, he shot 30 and then went on his way, 65, 66, 68 or 9 in the last round, and, yeah, that was it. The golf world was turned on its head.
What about for you to say, okay, in August, it was me and Tiger as amateurs going 38 holes. He has to climb all the way back to beat me. Now, fast forward, it's only April,
Yeah.
and he has just lapped everybody that's at the Masters. Like, did it did it put anything into perspective for you, or was there a new appreciation for just how great this guy is and could potentially be?
Yeah, I mean, what I learned the day that we played at that US Amateur was that he could flip a switch greater than and faster than anybody that I'd ever seen, ever watched as a pro or as in person as an amateur, whatever. Like the fact that he could go from poor golf to unbelievable golf in just, like your Superman going into the phone booth and coming out with a cape, like, that was him. And I mean, anything that he's ever done or will do from this moment, like, will never surprise me. It will not surprise me if he goes and does anything, I mean, wins any tournament. I mean, no matter what. I mean, he's superhuman. The guy has a will that's stronger than anybody's will that maybe ever lived in the sporting world. It was just so cool to see it all up close like that. But yeah, to know that he did that and then lapped the field by 12 at Augusta that year. Like, yeah, again, it just only gives you confidence if you're me. And that's the way I tried to see it.
What are the interactions like when you see Tiger now, all these years later?
Well, I hadn't seen him in a long, long time. I saw him. I was actually covering a junior event, the North South Junior in Pinehurst this last summer. And Tiger was out there following Charlie for all 54 holes. I mean, he's into it. I mean, he is a
Yeah.
spectator, as a father. He is into it. I mean, he doesn't. Anyway, so we crossed paths. We saw each other at the. I kind of went up to him at the end of the first round, and he was sitting in passenger seat in a golf cart, and I kind of walked over to him, and the his handler, his bodyguard or
Mhm.
handler driving the cart, kind of looked at me a little funny to start, and I said, "Hey, Tiger." I hadn't seen him. Mind you, I haven't seen him in. I mean, I don't know. I probably hadn't seen him in almost 20 years to this point. And I said, "Hey, when are you going to get that damn leg sleeve off your leg so we can go and have a rematch?" And he kind of looked at me for 1 second, then he broke out in a big smile, and it was cool. It was really cool. And we chatted for a few minutes that day, and then we chatted for a few minutes on the final day as well. Yeah, just remarkable how certainly how much our careers diverge for sure, and how he went on and just did superhuman things, and but it was really cool to catch up with them, and but I could feel there was a mutual kind of like, hey, thanks for doing me a solid way back then.
Yeah.
I could feel that,
Yeah.
and that was probably the most meaningful thing.
You guys, you will forever be linked with Tiger Woods. And that is something that not many people in the history of this world can say. That's pretty damn cool. I
Yeah.
like to finish all my podcasts with a segment I call This Just In, and it's rapid fire questions. You could take as long as you'd like to answer.
Mhm.
I do reserve the right to ask a follow up.
Okay.
You are the founder of the Silver Club Golfing Society. You guys play phenomenal courses all over the world. What is your favorite golf course?
Ooh, my favorite golf course. I think it's Cypress Point. I think Cypress Point. I think it's Royal Dornoch has a very fond place in my heart too. The northern Highlands of Scotland. I feel like whatever course it is, it has to be near an ocean like that. So Cypress Point, though, there's really nothing better. Was out there last fall for the Walker Cup in September. Got to spectate. I mean, it's just phenomenal. So Cypress Point, I would have to say.
How about your Mount Rushmore of golf courses? So your four
Ooh.
golf courses.
Mm. Well, I've got to put my home club, the Old Town Club in Winston-Salem, North
Phenomenal
Carolina, on
course,
there.
by the way.
Old Town is off the charts. I mean, Cypress Point would be there for sure. Um, other other golf courses on my Mount Rushmore. I think. I mean, look, I think Royal Dornoch would be up there for sure. That's a very spiritual experience. I guess what is there? Four
Four.
on Mount.
Yep. Yeah.
The last one. I think Seminole down in South
Oh,
Florida. Seminole is very special to me. I actually caddied there for 2 seasons way back 25 or 6 years ago, and trying to make a few bucks in the winter, and I got to meet some of the greatest people ever at Seminole and still keep in touch with many of them, and they let us play the golf course in the afternoons when it wasn't busy. So I mean, I've been around Seminole hundreds of times. And it's some people don't understand it, maybe if they saw it just once, but it's kind of a course that's got a ton of layers to it that you have to see in a lot of weather conditions and firmness and whatnot. And so Seminole, I think, would be there.
all right. My follow up to that is you caddied at Seminole.
Mhm.
Give me top five guys you caddied for there.
Well, it's actually funny. I caddied for Mr. Nicklaus there when he came through one time. So I played with him and caddied for him.
Did he
Uh,
remember you when you caddied for him?
yes, yes, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
caddied
awesome.
for, yeah. It was only a few years after. So yeah, that was really cool. So that would be one. I mean, Jimmy Dunn, who's the club
Yep.
president now, I caddied for him way back. He's just the greatest guy. Um, let's see, who else did I caddy for? I caddied for Gary Player there.
Whew.
Gary Player, he was in. I mean, we know how great of a bunker player he is. He was in 5 bunkers that day. 4 of them he hit to a foot, and the other one he holed. And so, I mean, literally, they were foot. I mean, they were tap ins, and he and those bunkers are no joke. There's 180 something bunkers on the golf course. I mean, they're really tough. There's a soft, sandy the soft kind of beach
Mhm.
sandish in a way at times. And anyway, like he was just phenomenal. So that was awesome. Let's see, who else did I caddy? I caddied for Jack Welch, who was the CEO of
CEO of
GE at the
GE. Yep.
time. I caddied for Rush Limbaugh.
Wow.
He was the biggest tipper
Oh,
we ever
yeah?
had, that I ever had.
Okay, what was the tip?
Oh, he gave us a lot of money. He gave
I
he, he
love it.
was he was
It
really
paid
good.
your rent.
I'll leave it at that. That's all he gave us though, which is good. But I also caddied for Lanny Watkins there. Caddy, there was a lot of pro. Raymond Floyd was there. Uh, yeah.
That's so cool.
So a lot of pros, a lot of great players. Actually, here's a funny one. So being the runner up in that U.S. Amateur, the two previous runners up were Trip
Buddy
Keeney in
Marucci.
1994 and Buddy Marucci, and I was caddying in a group that Buddy and Trip were playing in. So that was kind of funny and awkward and ironic all at the same time. So yeah, it's just amazing who comes through those doors and
Yeah.
who yeah, it's I mean the caddy yard is an all-star caddy yard. Anyway, that it's I could go on and on about Seminole.
You mentioned just before the Walker Cup, how
Mhm,
you were out at Cyprus for the Walker
mhm.
Cup. You were a two-time Walker Cup member, 1997 and 1999. 97, Quaker Ridge, the US obliterates 18-6. When you play for your country, what not what, but how does it differentiate from playing for, let's say, the USAM?
It's it's the fun, it's times 10. The losses are times 10 too in a bad way. But not so bad because the team experience itself. I mean, so we won one and we lost one. We
Mhm.
lost at Nairn in Scotland in '99, but we won that Quaker Ridge one pretty handily. So I've seen both sides of it, and it's playing for a team. It's I don't know. I mean, you're just playing for way more than yourself. You're just playing for you're playing for your country when you have that the flag on your bag and all your head covers and your shirts. And I mean, like it's just the sense of pride is far and away greater than any individual act that you can do. The Walker Cup itself is the society, the Walker Cup Society. We have a Walker Cup Society that's essentially it's the greatest fraternity in the history of mankind. I mean,
Hmm.
the greatest players, the greatest people, and what's so cool about it is that um, and I think they started the Walker Cup Society. I want to say I don't know, 15 years ago or something. It wasn't always in existence, but I've been to 5 of the last 7 Walker Cups, including the last 3. I'm going to go to La Hinch this September. It's just the greatest connection amongst people. And I'll tell you, actually, I went to the Walker Cup practice session at Seminole back in December, this last December, and got to hang out and talk with all the up and comers who were on the potentials for the team this year, and from Jackson Coyven to you name it, Mike Lasasso, who won't be on the team now, but
Right.
I mean all these guys who are they're just so good and they're so cool, and it keeps you young, it keeps you in touch with all of what's new and great in the world of amateur golf. And Captain Nathan Smith is a great friend, and I don't know, it's just like the friends that you make and the connections are just as a team and representing the US. It's just I mean, it's just so massive. It's just and every year that goes by, every year I get older, like I look back and it just gets even more and more important because
Yeah.
you realize that you're never going to do that again as a player. And just to stay connected with the Walker Cup team like that is it's so important to me. It's so and but it's the greatest fraternity ever.
I also love to go back and look at the rosters. And looking at the European rosters, you went up against Luke Donald,
Yeah.
you went up against Paul Casey.
Yeah.
I believe Justin Rose was there in
Yep. He
'97.
he was on the '97 team. We didn't play against each other,
Right.
like, but yeah, he was the youngest on the GB&I squad. Yeah.
I mean, and then obviously the American squad has guys who went on to PGA Tour careers.
Mhm.
I just think it's so fun to look back at rosters and see how those top amateurs turn out in their
Yeah.
career later on. And to
Yeah.
say that you're teammates with these people is so cool.
Yeah, it's the greatest. I mean, it's really the greatest. Yeah, our team in 1999 on paper, did better in their professional careers, but our 97 team was amazing. We had 4 mid-ams on the team, something that will never happen ever again. We had 3 mid-ams on the 99 team, and now you're lucky if you can find one. So it's,
Well, damn it, work harder. Get back on it.
yeah. I'm technically a pro though, so I can. I'd have to get
Uh,
my amateur status back. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? You
yeah,
never know.
that's the next goal. I want to see Steve Scott back in the Walker Cup. That would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, no, that's not happening, I don't think. But yeah, I just love staying connected with it though. It's just an awesome group of people.
Well, I'll end it
Mm,
on this. The coolest
mm,
thing that the US
mm,
amateur appearance
mhm,
has done for you in your
mhm.
life?
The coolest thing. I mean, outside of the Masters, outside of the Walker Cup teams, um, I think the coolest thing is that I got to share it with my wife, who's Christy,
Mm.
who's my wife now. It would have been kind of weird if I would have married somebody else and, "Hey, who are those who's in those pictures there? Who's caddying for you?" Like, it probably would have been pretty strange, but I think that's the coolest thing that we get to share those moments forever. Yeah, that stuff, yeah, it almost makes you tear up in a way, how cool that is to be able to share that with your wife and then, your kids and that, hey, mom and dad did something really cool when they were, 19, 20 years old. And yeah, that's probably the coolest thing.
That's really neat. So I have to ask, have you guys
Yeah.
watched that US amateur with the kids?
Yeah, yeah, we
Were they
haven't
like,
done it
"Oh
a
my
little.
god, dad, you look like this, mom. Oh my gosh."
We haven't. I don't know if we've sat down and watched the whole thing together. Maybe one day we'll do that. But I mean, they've seen bits and pieces for sure. But I think maybe it's a good time to
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I think that would be awesome. Hey,
Yeah,
Steve, I appreciate you doing
mm,
this. This was
of
really cool.
course.
Like I said, I've been lucky enough to interview some really cool people, and prepping for the podcast is fun. But prepping for this one was just different. To go back and watch you, and we've had the chance to play golf together now. Uh, I
Yeah,
see you with the bent brim, like the old school Florida stuff.
yeah,
It's pretty neat, and
yeah,
the experiences that you have had in your life are really special. And I wish you nothing but the best. Hope to see you around PGA Tour
yeah,
Live soon.
yeah.
But really, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure, my pleasure. Love chatting about all this with you. Thanks,
And
Justin.
sorry I had to bring up the loss. I was the first one today. Okay, so at least I got that one
all,
taken care of.
all good, all good. It was the best loss ever.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve.